Hello everyone, this is Neha Sharma, your English language teacher. Today in this video, we are going to discuss poem number 2. Name of the poem is Fire and Ice. Before starting the poem, let me tell you one new word, that is what? Apocalypse. Apocalypse spelling is A-P-O-C-A-L-Y-P-S-E. Apocalypse is the day when the world would end as a result of global warming. Robert Frost's poem Fire and Ice expresses the profound idea that the world would end in either of two ways, either by ice or fire. Fire and Ice is a popular poem by American poet Robert Frost, which was written in 1920. He compares both of the components are with the human emotions, hatred and desire. The poem very artistically underpins the philosophy that we let our emotions rule us, and if do not control them, they will surely destroy everything around us. Similarly, he thinks fire and ice both are just as competent in bringing the world to a catastrophic end. The poet symbolizes fire as unending desire, and ice is symbolized to be destruction and hatred. The poet says that the world is bound to destroy one day. However, it will be destroyed by the fire, that is what? Greed, which makes a person do all the inhuman blunders. However, if the world would have to perish twice, perish means to get reach towards the end twice, then coldness, that is what? Hate, would be responsible for its destruction. Fire and Ice is a short and crisp poem, but it is a meaningful poem. This is having two things: fiery passion, that is what? Fire, that is for fury, cruelty, violence and greed, and the ice, that stands for the cold feelings, that is what? Hatred, indifference and insensitivity. Let's see the poem. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. This poem is written in a single 9-line stanza, which greatly narrows to in last 2 lines. And the rhyming scheme of these three lines is, if we'll say, that is ABA, ABC, BCB. Let's know about Robert Frost. He was born on 26 March 1874 and he was the famous poet of 20th century. He was famous in the modern and in spirit, and he wrote traditional poetries. Let's see the new words of the poem. Number 1 is desire. Desire means a strong feeling or wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. Favor it is actually, but the spelling is wrong, so please do it correct. It's F-A-V-O-R, favor. It's F-A-V-O-R, okay. So favor is what? That is approval or support of something or liking for something, that is called favor. Next is perish. Perish is to die, means typically that to suffer death, right? Destruction. Destruction means causing so much damage. And the last word, which is very important, that is suffice, and that is what? Be sufficient or be enough. Now let's see the first stanza of the poem. Some say the word will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So here, dear students, as I told you, the meaning of desire. Desire is what? Desire is a strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something happen, right? And favor. Favor is what? Favor means approval or support. So here in these lines, the poet actually, he expresses the profound idea that the word would end in either of two ways, either by ice or fire. One group is of the opinion that someday the earth's core will get so heated up that it would lead to fire, destroying the earth's surface, right? So that is what some say, the world will end in fire, right? So this is some means the one group who is of the same opinion that someday the earth will destroy with the fire. Second line is some say in fire. On the other hand, he says, the second group says that if the temperature goes down to an extent that makes life on earth impossible, it would have the same catastrophic effects. So the poet then he compares the fire and ice with the destructive features of human emotion. From what I have tasted of desire, desire, he is saying to the to fire, are desires, human desires are unending. They are keeping on increasing like fire, fire, fire. So that's why the poet compares fire and ice with the destructive features of human emotions. So desires and desire and hatred. Once again, please listen. Fire is for desire and ice is for hatred. So he says that from what he is aware about fiery desires, he would favor the ones who say that it would be fire. By saying so, he brings about the idea that human beings let their emotions rule them and the consequences of unmonitored longing in chaos. So this was the meaning of this first stanza. If we'll talk about the poetic devices here used in first stanza, so the first poetic device is alliteration, and that is what? What is alliteration? Same sound at the beginning of the words. So where alliteration is like S, some say. So it is what? It is where some say, SS, some say. So this is what? Alliteration here, right? And again in second line there is what? Some say. Okay, so this is what? Same sound at the beginning of the words. So this is alliteration. And which sound? Consonant sound. Next, if you will say the second literary device here is anaphora. Some say the word will end in fire, some say in ice. For what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So that anaphora is what? A word or a group of words which is used repeatedly to emphasize in the consecutive lines. So here some say, some say. You can see here some say, some say. So this first and second line is having same phrase, some say, some say. So it's a repetition of same phrases in the consecutive line. That means there is a presence of anaphora here. Clear? So this is anaphora and some say, some say. Next, we will talk about the next poetic device here, that is symbolism. Symbolism is what? Use of symbols to signify the ideas and the qualities. Now here he has taken two things, as I told you. One is what? Fire, right? Fire he has symbolized with the desires, and the second one is ice. So that is the symbol of what? Hatred. So these two words, fire and second one is ice, he has taken as symbolism, right? If we talk about the next poetic device here, that is what? Enjambment. What is this enjambment? An idea does not end with a line, but it carried on without punctuation mark to the next line, right? You can see here the first line. Some say the word will end in fire. There is no punctuation mark, no full stop, no comma, nothing, right? In second line, the second line is getting started with the capital letter, and the second line is ending with the full stop here. So here this line shifted, the meaning of this line, first line is shifted to the second line. Clear? So this is what occurrence of enjambment here. In line number 2, 3 and 4 also the same case is there. From what I have tasted of desire. Clear? Here you cannot see any full stop, no comma, nothing, no punctuation mark. And again the fourth line is starting with the capital letter, and moreover we are not getting the meaning of from what I have tasted of desire I hold to those who favor fire. To get the meaning of this third line I have to read the fourth line. Clear? So this is what this is occurrence of enjambment. Next, once again let's discuss the rhyming scheme of this. As I told you, the poem is of 9 lines. 2 stanzas we have divided that. First line is having 4 lines and the second stanza is having 5 lines. So if we'll talk about the first stanza's rhyming scheme, that is A, B, A. I have told you earlier too, there we did it 3 lines. So here if 2 stanzas are written, so that is the first one is in 4 lines, and the rhyming scheme of that is A, B, A. See how? Fire is what? A. Clear? Ice is what? B, because it is not matching. Now fire and desire both are matching. Clear? So that's why it is what? B, A and A. And the last one is fire once again. So that is match with fire, desire and fire. Clear? So this is what? This is A, B, A, right? The rhyming scheme of this first stanza. Next come to the second stanza of the poem. But if it had to perish twice, it means what? The earth, right? But if it had to perish twice, perish I have told you the meaning. Perish means to die, to finish, right? So that is what? I think I know enough of heat to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. So suffice means sufficient. Okay. So here the poet is saying, then by not waiving off the first option of fire, he is not going with that first option of fire. He is saying he considers actually if the word has to expire, to die twice, to finish twice, in that case ice would be equally competent in ending it. He brings about a contrast between ice and hatred, because this word ice is symbolizing hatred. So the human capability of insensitivity and hatred has the potential for inner destruction. Though slow and steady, it had the same effect that desire has on us, right? So that the same, actually that he said the both of the things are the competitors equally, so they both will perish the earth. Though slow and steady, it has the same effect on the desire has on us. Okay, so if given an option between fire and ice, ice would be just as good as fire to destroy the world. So that he said in the last line. So dear students, what we have learnt here, that greed and hate are the greatest enemy of humanity, and the poet suggests us to never adopt them, because what they will do, they are enough. Both of these things, nothing else we required for the destruction, right? These two things, the unending desires, nowadays people are in competition, or they are too busy, so it is what they want to get money, or they want to earn something and all. So that is what he is saying, that that both of these things, hate and greed, are the greatest enemy of human being. If we will discuss the poetic devices here in this stanza, so let's see, there is the occurrence of enjambment in this whole stanza. But if I had to perish twice, right? Here there is what you can see, the comma is there. I think I know enough of it. Here there is no punctuation mark. To say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. So here there is what? The continuation of the sentence without any punctuation mark. Only first stanza, first line is having this comma, but second, third, fourth, they are in continuation, and they are not having any punctuation mark. Moreover, the next line is getting started with the capital letter here, right? So this is what, this is the occurrence of enjambment. So this is first poetic device or literary device, you may say. Second, the rhyming scheme of this stanza is, first line is ending with word twice, right? So this we will give A. Second is what? Hate. Hate is not matching with twice, so this is what? B. Now, if we'll see twice, and the third line is ending with ice, so ice and twice are getting same sound. So this is again A. Great and hate, so that is B. And suffice is matching with ice, so the rhyming scheme is A, B, A, B, A, right? So this is the rhyming scheme of this second stanza. One more poetic device is here, that is what? Assonance. So assonance is what? Close repetition of the same vowel sound, not letters. So it is what? If it may be, for your case it is written here not letters, but here it is if, it. So I and I, right? I and I, and this is what? Vowel is getting repeated here. So but if it had to perish twice, so it is what? If it, right? So this is what? Assonance. Clear? So these are the poetic device. Next is personification in this complete poem. So that you have to do, this is very important, that personification is what? That means to give the human qualities to inanimate objects. So in the poem, fire and ice are capable of destruction. Therefore, the poet personifies fire and ice by giving them a mind which is capable of destroying almost anything. Means that's why he is personifying fire and ice. So these things are fire and ice are personified here. Next is given the theme of the poem, that by the end of the poem both sides of the scale seem to be weighed evenly, ice too and fire too. Ice, representing the cold, rational side of humanity, is as dangerous as a weapon as the hot, passionate side. The title raises the possibility that both fire and ice can coexist at the same time, maybe even in the same person. Experience in both matters has taught the speaker that although ice or hate may not have the same grandeur as a fireball, it can be almost equally disastrous. So Fire and Ice is a poem that tells about the end of world, and this is revolving around the theme that the human emotions are destructive. Fire stands for passion and desire, and ice stands for hatred. Both the emotions are dangerous and may bring the world to an end.